All right, what up? So I saw your tweet, and it appears as though uh, you think that Dan is one of your bracket demons. So what I'm going to try to do is kind of try to address some of those things that I think are making him your bracket demon, and kind of go into what I think I can do or what you can do to kind of clean up your game and some of the areas where I think you're struggling. Go ahead and pause it here if you need to. All this is just the notes I took from your set, and I'm kind of gonna go into more detail. This is actually my second try at the video. I actually recorded the first one with no audio, so that was good. I spent an hour on that. But this will be good. I'm sure you didn't want to watch an hour of me talking anyway. I can kind of make it more succinct. So yeah, this is the bullet points. And some of these aren't super clear what I mean, but you'll know more about what I'm trying to say here once you actually see it in game. So I'm not going to hit every single point that I made in the first video, but I'm going to try to hit most of the hard hitting ideas here. So let's do it. And to preface this, all I'm going to say is that when I do watch Smash 4, it's usually of Daybreak or of Extraordinary. And I also I've been playing a little wolf myself, so not that I have anywhere near the knowledge of either of you guys, but I do think that I can provide some helpful insight. And I know that I've done analyses for Daybreak and Jordan in the past, and to my knowledge, I think Daybreak has actually learned a fair amount, as have I, from when Daybreak has analyzed my set.
Charles Martinet says,
let's get into it.
And Dan says, my name's Dan.
So, again, I'm not going to hit on everything here.
That's counting your chickens before you hatch. You gotta beat Dan, and Dan is coming out that gate hot with that fiery F smash.
Probably go back here.
Or I think he was still playing.
Yeah. Alright, so going up against Daybreak.
Daybreak, the opposite. He likes his spaceys. He doesn't really care about
Which one?
He's like, I'm gonna pick the best spacey. Here we go. It's Wolf.
But Daybreak honestly had a down to the wire set against Yeti. Like honestly, he was probably on track to win that until that.
So one thing I do want to point out that I didn't catch in the first video is that earlier, just a second ago actually, Mario, he nairs you here, okay? And this full hop is actually really good. I like this full hop a lot. Later in the set, you actually choose to do some options that I think are worse than this. But this is good. So knowing when you are in a situation with shield pressure that you cannot win, doing this full hop or rolling are both really good. And I'm actually going to add that to the notes here. So that was good. So when you are getting pressured like that with a nair or down air from Mario or back air, and you can't win, full hopping can be good because it's so fast in this game, and it provides a good option for you to escape this shield pressure with a character like Wolf, who doesn't have good out of shield attacking options.
Honestly, he was probably on track to win that until that gimp at the end, right? So definitely trying to make his way back to get that run back.
He has a lot of work cut out for him to get.
So, just watching this is where I kind of got my first point here. Is it doesn't really seem to give a super solid idea of what you want to accomplish here. Not that you're just pressing buttons, but it seems like you're kind of just doing these full hop aerials in a safe way. And I don't think that's very effective against Mario, because if you're going to play a game, the aerial game, against a character like Mario, you can't play it that safe just because. I mean, you can, but it can be hard because not a lot can come out of it, and it doesn't seem like it's very effective, especially when I get later into the set where I do see you do effective things against Mario that I think are vastly superior to kind of jumping around and hoping for him to mess up. And what has happened right now is hits on a couple points that I made earlier. Number one, it was, again, that full hop. Just isn't doing a whole lot for you. It can be good for occasional conditioning and a good mix-up, but you're using, I believe, in my opinion, I didn't need to say those words in succession. In my opinion, you're using full hop too much, and we see that here because you do full hop. So too much. We got this nair game going on. The spacing was improper, even if you did want to play the nair game. And additionally, he did this run-up shield, which he does a lot, and you did not really have a countermeasure in place for this. So there's that. Okay, again, there's that. There's that full hop, double jump full hop. It was super telegraphed. You get the point. And there's one other thing that I want to hit on in this particular game. There was a spot dodge. You and I have had conversation about this before. I do believe you have a spot dodge habit, and actually, you know what? There's a better example. I'll get to it in a second. Good ledge trapping. That was a good pivot grab, but barely didn't work. One of the things I did say about my I forgot to mention this in my first video. What I mentioned was that so this situation right here, or no, shoot, where'd he go? Might have been a little earlier. So you're doing the ledge trapping. So right here. Oh wow. Okay, actually, I didn't remember that quite as well as I thought it would. But he comes down with this. Missed pivot grab. Okay, actually, never mind. Just never mind. I like the delay there. I like the delay there. That was a nice delay.
Still a good combo. Yeah. 74%. I think you'll take it.
Okay, so right there. This is the beginning of what ends up, in my opinion, being a major contributor to why you lost a set is this jump, specifically on the left side is where you do it the most. This double jump out of disadvantage gets you kind of annihilated in the set, and you did not adapt because by game 4, you're still doing it. And I'm sure you remember. I'm not going to go into it too much because I want to make this brief. But see, okay, so this is what you want to see. This is what you want to see. So this entire sequence here is what I really like. Let's watch. So starting from this point, so you apply the nair pressure. Okay, you do it in a way. This is great because you cross him up in the nair. Okay. He does his back air. You shield it. Okay, and then you do this is perfect, and I just don't understand why you didn't do this more. It's just phenomenal. This is the kind of thing you want to see. Not running around doing nair after nair after nair, hoping you'll get a forward air or a straight hit in order to connect into more combo hits. Actually taking initiative to realize what he's going to do, and then counteracting that with an offensive option. This is good. You should have been doing more. That's my opinion. That was a good dash back, but no punish there. I think I hit on most of the points I want to cover in that game. So dash dancing is important. These tomahawks are really good. I guess I'll talk about it now. But if you want a full hop, okay. So again, there's that jump. he read you again. You got away with it. But you'll see that just because you got away with it doesn't mean that he forgot that you did it. Okay, so keep that in mind. So what I was going to talk about is adding mix-ups to your aerial game. So again, what I've seen from you a lot is these full hop nairs, which can be good. Don't stop doing them, but do start incorporating some other things when you full hop, and that includes, number one, tomahawks. Those are really good. And tomahawk from a full hop can be scary because your opponent does have reaction time. But if you can get them to a point where you are close enough to make them think about a tomahawk, but still have time to aerial, that's what is known as a late or delayed aerial, is doing it when you are very close to their shield to the point where you would make them think you're going to tomahawk. So do tomahawks, empty hops, and your late aerials, not just full hop nair, full hop forward air.
Daybreak, honestly, bringing it back, pretty much even.
Okay, all right. So this is where I'm glad I caught this. you and I have gone back and forth on spot dodging quite a bit, but this literally this was bad. So I'm all for a well-timed spot dodge for the purpose of trying to avoid a grab that you can visually see is coming. But what this is you'll see this more than once in the set. Is you do a smash attack, you got scared that you missed, and you spot dodged out of a habit. And he knew, he charged that extra, and he killed you for it. And
Okay.
I believe you lose this game because of that. You might, or even if you do win, he wins the next 3.
Wolf can't kill, dude. In this game.
Dan definitely has control right now.
Making sure to put those fireballs in the most inconvenient places for Wolf to recover, but that move is that move's crazy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so still, you got kind of lucky there. Not gonna lie, that down smash is a really good move. But so we covered spot dodge, and we covered this. Haven't gotten here yet. That's for the Smashville game. Spot dodging, you'll see that more in a step. But that main one, you kind of got bodied in that last one. We're gonna start seeing this, I believe, in this next game or in the last game. In the last game, so I already kind of described this topic. We'll see it in the last game. I'll go over that later, I guess. And I'll talk about this next game in this. I think it's the Pokemon Stadium game. So I'm not gonna talk about this game in particular too much, but you'll see here in these very beginning steps, your disadvantage kind of puts you in a hole here. So you're trying to attack out of the corner. You you double jump onto the stage, get blown back off, thrown away. You do it again, punished again, and then you finally go to the ledge, and now you're at 100%. You're about to die. So don't be afraid to go to the ledge immediately. Mixing it up is always a good thing, but it seems like he's prepared to punish that. And before I go to the next game, this is really good. This is a high level thing I like to see. So watch this. So he comes in with the nair. You probably could have shield grabbed it, but either way, this is good because this is kind of information you want to gather. What does he do after he nairs my shield? The answer, he forward tilts. How do I beat that? I can jump above and forward air him, which you did, and that was really good. You got a good punch off of that. So those are the kind of things you need to be thinking about, is what do they do after this scenario? And I'm sure there's stuff I'm going to miss in this that you can review, but this is the gist of this game I wanted to cover. I think, hold on, why do you lose a second stock?
I'll have to ask him afterwards, but he had something Galaxy Brain in mind. It just didn't quite work out. Double jump gone for Dan, and I think that's just it. Yeah,
He dies there. Well, you die immediately. What happens? Okay, alright, so this is where he read you twice in the previous game, and you got away with it in the Pokemon Stadium game. You did. But, like I said, it does not mean that he forgot that you did that, and right here you got punished. And I know that you didn't adapt either of these times because in the fourth game, you're still doing it, and you die for the exact same reason. So he wins there. This game, I don't know if I want to look for the exact scenario, but there was one scenario or a few. Let's try to find it. Just watch this.
Alright, so either way, this will be the pick. Dan once again with a good start. I'm trying to get the jab blocks.
Okay, there it is. So this is not general knowledge. This is kind of knowledge that you need to use against characters that have good out of shield options, i.e. Mario. So in this scenario, Mario has an advantage because you get to be way far ahead of him. He has time, so he shields, drops shield, and then jumps and back airs all before you even got your back air out without shielding first. So this brings me to my point. When we're in your close quarters with Mario. Number one, we talked about this, knowing when to roll and jump out of shield when you're pressured. which is basically these points are basically the same. The only one we reset neutral and not attack out of the disadvantageous position. Number 2, do not jump right in Mario's face in an attempt to start neutral, because you're just going to lose. This right here is what's going to happen because his aerials are too fast. You can't contest with him because your both aerials or back area at the very least are just too slow. So the game plan, again, you need to go back to this game plan, is you need to space him out, use these dash dances, use these aerial mix-ups. Don't try to win scrap situations with Mario because it's just too hard. His close quarters range is too good. But if you strip that from him, you start seeing the Smash 4 matches against Ally and MK Leo. You know, he has nothing. Space him out. So stuff like this is good. You do a fair amount of stuff like this. I'm not going to go over every single one, but there were some things that I really liked in my first analysis of this video. So this dash back and then you cover the incoming aerial. That's great. You did a great job with some of this stuff, but you need to do it more. That should be your general game plan: is bait him into an approaching aerial and then punish the landing. There was another time, and so starting to get into specifics, he was pretty much just pressing buttons. He did a back air, he did a short hop back air, and then an up air, and landed, and then buffered shield, and then you came up and tried to do like a short hop forward air. Okay, I don't know where it was in the set, but those are the scenarios where you need to kind of be learning your opponent and figuring out what does he do after this, because like the time at which you capitalize on Mario is when he's on the ground, and or after he's done something to put him in end lag, because Mario's on the ground are usually either going to be in shield about to nair or scared that they're on the ground because they're not aerialing or grabbing. So more dash dancing is good. More outranging would be good. Trying to contest him really close range when he's got his back turned to you like this is usually tough to contest because his mobility in the air is so good, and his back air has such good range. So just a few things to keep in mind. So that's pretty much most of it. I'm just going to go over the last game here really quickly. So I'm not sure which stock it is, but so this is a good way to kind of summarize my point about the running up with shield. So there were many more times before this particular instance where he was using run up shield as his main offensive option. Okay, and I feel as though if you knew that, you wouldn't be trying to do this reversed blaster. You would have done a dash forward, dash in, or sorry, dash back, dash in grab, because you would have known he was on the ground and that he was going to use shield in order to grab you, in order to shield grab you. So consider that. Try to adapt to your opponent in that way. And the last thing I want to point out is you really need to have an active mind about adapting. And I know that seems obvious, but you got it. And I love you, but that's fine. It's fine where it is here.
What on earth did I see? All right, of course, having a little bit slower startup. Air to air box. Extending this disadvantage state. Taking advantage of the flood. Okay, dash attack.
Well, you might not lose a stock from this game. I gotta figure out. I know you SD in the last stock, right? Let's find it. Let's see if we can find it. We'll watch the game and I'll give my last piece of commentary on it, and I'll summarize my final point on this read he makes. Playing the nair game, got punished out of shield.
Catching rolls here and there. Dan is in a great spot. What? Did you see that? The forward smash came out, right?
Playing the nair game again.
What the heck? That's like Yoshi's forward smash. There's a hole in his neck. What on earth did I see? All right.
Yeah, kind of looks like you were really struggling for an idea what to do there. Really just kind of went in without really a plan.
Just do it.
I saw that spot dodge earlier.
After he beat Ape,
I saw that.
I think it's just been slaughtered.
Okay, good combo.
Wow. Trying to combat.
Good forward air too, because you read that he was going to do retreating back air, and you overshot the forward air, which is good. I like that.
Wolf's back air. Clearly, yeah, Wolf's back air is going to win that trade.
That's what he gets for having a little bit slower startup than a lot of Mario's aerials. But that move is it hits like a charge.
Good weight in that spot dodge. I like that. Okay. So you got you again here, and I'm not sure if that was the last time, but by this point in the video in the set, this is like the 5th time he's read you jumping up from the ledge there on the left side. So just to summarize it, you gotta be more conscious of what he knows about you. Okay. He got you a lot in this exact scenario. Jump from the ledge, forward airs you down to the ground, and there are a few times where you were fortunate enough to die. So again, to keep these in mind, these notes, I'll paste them in the description. This pretty much goes over what I think you could improve in this set. Just try to consider some of this, implement it into your gameplay, and only other thing that I had to say is just stuff that I'm sure you're going to get good at by simply playing the game more. This kind of thing is just general spacing stuff. Do keep this in mind, though, that this was a thing that if you don't think about doing, you won't improve at it. And I know this because I didn't. My spacing with Smash 4 Falcon just really wasn't that good at all. And it's because I never really sought to improve it. So it also having a conscious mind and constantly thinking about spacing is also going to keep your brain engaged in all of your decision-making processes. So kind of start there. If you do want to be one of these higher top-level players, you got to start thinking pretty deep into the game. Definitely can't be making the same mistake 5 times in a row. But overall, you did do some really good stuff in the set that I didn't really get to touch on this time around. Wanted to focus more on the bad. But there were bits and pieces, like you had a few times where you dashed out, dashed in, and caught his retreating aerial, and it was really good. But there were other times where you did the same things over and over, and you got punished for it. But so keep that in mind, and if there is any questions you have or anything else I can do to help, let me know. All right.